joined by Fred Solomon. How are you, Fred?
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm doing good, Lee.
Great. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, send us an email. You can also text me directly, 858-663-2537. Put the subject line help. I'll know where you need it. If you want to get a hold of me or Fred, we'll be happy to get a hold of you. That's as simply as it is. That today update, remember, there's no coaching call tomorrow. I have to go to my niece's graduation in the morning. Excitement. So we will resume again on Tuesday with our normal Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday schedule. Today is our market call for May 24th. Get you up to speed. We were talking about this before we started. The interest rates have climbed back up. If you are unaware of it, you're watching this for the first time. What is the current no cost, no point, no nada Fred fee rate?
I'm able to offer 6.75% today. That would be with 60% loan to value or lower, 740 FICO score, primary residence, and no cash out and no costs. Means that, we pay all the closing costs on the loan, escrow, title, credit report. All those costs on a $300,000 loan are going to be at least $3,000. We get a rebate of 2.1%. That's $6,300. Out of the $6,300, we take $3,000, pay all the closing costs. Our company makes $3,300. The borrower pays zero. And if the rates come down and we have a recession by the end of the year, which is predicted, even though there are people right here that don't necessarily agree, and maybe Brendan is another guy that may not agree, but if we do if we do end up in a recession by the end of 2023, which is 2 negative quarters of GDP, then we should see rates come down. And if we see rates come down, you can always do another zero cost refi. Yes, you're right. And if we don't come to an agreement on this, what's going on in the Fed right now, if we don't come to an agreement, they're predicting rates to go up into the eights. So it could get ugly real quick and we'll lose millions of jobs.
Well, so I suspect the rates will go up into the eights only because they have to slow down purchasing. I mean, it's done a fairly effective job by raising the rates. They dropped them. Purchases increased. We saw this with pending and existing home sales. Now that they've raised the rates slowly back up, we'll cover it here in a moment. Guess what? Existing and pending home sales are now down again by about 5%.
But we've had 9.6% inflation last year. Currently, we're at 5% right now. Wage growth was at 5.5%. So finally, right now, wage growth is outpacing inflation, which hasn't happened since before COVID. So that's a big important thing because it allows 67% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So if you have inflation outpacing wage growth, Houston, we have a problem. So finally, we're back into where wage growth is outpacing inflation, which hasn't happened since before COVID. Those are big things to know.
Well, and you also believe in the reports.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Well, I don't want to be cynical about this. And the only reason I'll just bring it up as conversation. I was going to put up the latest default figures. Guess what? With inflation as high as it is, with people out of work, with everything that's going on where a loaf of bread costs $5, this is a fact, in the history of real estate, have the lowest default rate ever in recorded real estate history. How is that even a fact?
Thank you for forbearance agreements.
No, it's deferred. No, guess what? There are only about 250,000 forbearance agreements left. You know what they did? They rolled them into 40-year loan mods. What about the people that were on deferral? Well, they don't really register. So we're still talking 6 million people who more than likely still haven't made a payment or made some kind of payment agreement. It's ridiculous, Fred. People missing payments. I completely agree. Look,
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody here has seen it. You've seen the local car lots dry up like they're dead grapes on a vine. We're not selling cars. We're not, like, there are no car loans happening. Like, it's no longer a thing. Car lots are dropping like flies. Now, you're telling me that we've got a high default rate on credit debt. You've got a high default rate on car loans, but we have none, historically speaking, none in real estate. It's impossible, Fred. It's impossible.
Terrell's the one that just nailed it. If they're not reporting, then you don't have the data.
Right.
That's the bottom line. So the banks aren't reporting. We don't have the data. So we don't know exactly how many homes are still in forbearances. And a lot of people have refinanced out of forbearances. I've done the refis for them. And as long as they start making the loan payments before they close the loan, then Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac allow you to refinance these properties. So that, and Rick probably knows that. Brendan probably knows that. And Bill Gross is a data guy. He knows all the data.
Well, that's the gimmick here, right? Okay, so we've put our faith into individuals to provide us information, right? We live forever on what I call the 2-4-7 cycle, right? We had the Walter Cronkites and the Tom Brokaws of the world. We believe them to be real newscasters who actually put in time on their stories, did their fact checks, stood behind their work. Well, that's died somewhere in the 80s. Okay, I don't know exactly where, when the shift became. People read scripts. You have producers who compile. It's based on their perception of the market. If I wanted to write a story about this market being great for real estate, even this call right now, I can back it up with data and cite stories to back that up. Adam Data specifically, right? They're just a data collection unit based on only the data they can provide. But that's not taking a look at the bigger picture, since literally a couple of months ago, they were talking about a deluge of foreclosures starting, to now a couple of months later, right? It changing dramatically. Nobody's asking why. Nobody cares. They're resetting homeowners so that they stay in their homes. That's not a conspiracy theory on my part. That is obviously what they're doing. I would like to say it's a conspiracy theory because people like those words, but the reality is we're in an election cycle. We're constantly in a freaking election cycle where old people are trying to hold on to their jobs as long as they can. That's the bottom line. And as long as people are happy and they've got a house, well, not so much about cars because that's no big deal. Credit cards, not such a big deal. You just file bankruptcy, no big deal. But you got to keep that house. You got to keep a roof over their head if you want to get reelected. Exact housing data. If you've never done one of these calls, we go to Zillow.com/research/data, or just type in Zillow research data, and you can download all of Zillow's data. We're going to do it by city. And all you do is click. This will be up to date to April. And then you click on your page, your CSV, and you can find out about your particular location and the direction that it's going. Just that simple. And so they do it normally by city ranking on the left-hand side. You can certainly change it and make it alphabetically. You can do it by state. We've also done counties here. I want to see, do they have you, Fred, as Indio? They do. They have Indio for you. Or would it be Palm Springs? What would be more apt, Fred?
Oh, no, Indio, because that's where they actually allow short-term vacation rental.
Cool. So let's see what's happening in India on their prices. If you don't know, they keep track. This is your first time watching us do this. We try to do this at least once a month. They've kept track since January 31st of 2000 to current, to April of now. So we're going to do, for Fred, we're going to do India and take a look. Not L next. There we go. All right. And then you just scoot, where this market has done nothing since 2000 but raise value. Get a slow period during the crash. Let's get all the way to the end. See how you guys are doing. There we go. So the current median price is 501,000. It's actually up, Fred.
Yeah.
You guys are up.
And
So
that's what's happening the last 2 months for many SoCal areas. The last 2 months, it's been turning into a seller's market again.
So you were doing like everybody else. Your peak was 518, 520, made it all the way to 520. Then you started the decline, 518, 515, 512, 509, 505, 501, 500. And guess what? April, you showed a gain. April 30th, you guys showed a gain. That's crazy to me. Really is that it's showed that kind of quick gain, Fred. Any of you can pull this data. It's 100% free. I cannot stress it enough. I wish it would do every city. It just simply doesn't. Let's see if it does. It's not. So here is how I would use this data if I was working with Fred. Get rid of everything else. You don't need it. Show you a quick one. My bad. Right click, delete. Everything will move up. There we go. Everything below, I'm going to get rid of. So it just gets in the way. And no, it is not as comprehensive as you'd like. You're going to just have to pick the closest city. It's just the way it is. And the next thing you want to do is format all these lines to be in dollars and cents. Keeping this as simple for everybody as possible so you can use it for your own clients. Get rid of region, get rid of size. You don't need those. You don't need the designations at the top, I'm sure, are for them and the way they keep their database. I don't need, it's like an overkill to do some of these. I don't know why they do them. I'm sure it's for some reports that they have, but whatever. There you go. And so there you have a history from January 31st, 2000, all the way to today. Now, I suppose we should graph it, Fred, and see what the history of this whole thing looks like. So we're going to insert our recommended chart. Sorry, my bad. My bad, computer. I'm going to highlight all of it. Everything is so automated. I've got some new stuff that I can show you guys on Excel that we'll probably do on a Thursday, where you can put graphs in front of each line. So if you want to use multiple cities, you can actually have a cell right here with a graph of all this information. But for the sake of doing this, we're going to do recommended chart. There we go. Get rid of this bar that's in my way. I'm going to click OK. Guess what? There's your chart, Fred. And it's definitely showing. Now, as you increase the size, so too shall increase the depth. But yeah, it's definitely looking like you guys reached a peak and then you just kind of pooped out.
Yeah, in my particular community, it's gone down about 20%. but that's only because I'm in this short-term vacation rental community.
See if I could stretch it a little more. I mean, that's pretty telltale. I mean, I still say this, at some point, all prices have to come back to pre-pandemic. By the way, this, if you've never seen us do these, on every single one of these reports that we have ever done, the point's exactly the same for the acceleration, which is pandemic or pre-pandemic, what I call the pre-pandemic number, which is March of 2020, right about here, where they turn money free, Fred.
Yeah.
I don't see how this doesn't come back to earth at some point still, but maybe you're part of the lucky ones that found a plateau and a safe haven.
I'm definitely lucky for buying where I bought.
And for those of you who don't know, you can right click this and you can, come on, you'll let me. You can save as a picture. Put it in my downloads folder. And now, yes, go ahead and change it. And now you actually have an image that you can use. I mean, yeah, you should doll it up and go, Indio home prices since December 2000 to current. Now you got it, and you just right click on it. You save it as a picture, save it. Yes. And again, we'll just go share it on Fred's timeline. He'll love it.
I will.
You can put it on your own timeline. There. Photo, add the photo. There's my picture. At Indio. I tag it for Stagecoach. Got a bigger following. At Solomon, at Honish, Indio. Home prices have stabilized. God bless automated spelling. I haven't been able to spell since the 3rd grade.
But you can
Find out why. Send at Fred a message. There you go. Make it a sales pitch. I'm just doing it on my regular timeline. Tag the location, Indio. Boom. Double tag it up with Fred. We'll use the other lead profile. Boom. Click done. Click post. Just for fun, just to see if Fred gets hit up. I'm going to copy that, share to a group. See if I have any Palm Springs or Indio groups. No. Do I have Palm Springs? Not on this timeline. Riverside? Haven't done anything on this side. Miami, Florida. Interesting. If I use the other profile, I'm pretty sure I have it. Because I know that I joined a bunch of groups just because of you. But that's how you would do it. Indio, not India. Riverside. Nope, it's not on this profile. Go figure. But that's what I would do. I would share it to those groups. I'll show you guys while I have it up. It's just a switch of profiles. Yes, for those of you who've never been on this call, I have two Lee profiles. There's a Lee Honish and a Frank Lee Honish. Why? Because I get 5,000 on each. Just thought I'd share that with all of you. Now, this is the original, and I'm pretty positive. Make sure to put it on my timeline first. It's going to tell me that I tagged myself. I'm going to add to my profile. Okay. I'm going to head over to Facebook. Go to my timeline. It's now on my timeline. This one will have it. Share it to a group. Make sure to put text when you share to a group. You'll almost automatically not have it shared if you don't have any text at all. Let's see if I have any Indios. I have lots of Palm Springs. Shocker. I knew that I had done one of these, Fred. Buy and sell from Palm Springs to Coachella. There's a perfect one. And I can post it. See if Fred's in the group. No, Fred, you're not in the group. It says I can. Let's try it. Post. And that's what saves you. I mean, honestly, from here, you could boost it and target it correctly. If that was like your gimmick. I like to avoid buying ads as much as I can. Palm Springs classified, paste it, post it, share to a group. No, share to a group. I'll just post it to 3 and we'll see if it has any effect. Local business promotion. Nice. It's good. People with jobs. There you go. That's how you use the latest housing data to help you with your own market. So again, from the top, download it. Not hard. I'm doing these by city. This is going to go away. Come on. There we go. Search for your city or a city near you for that matter. Let's do a fun one like San Francisco that's experiencing life in hell.
No doubt. They're getting crushed up in Silicon.
Crushed. Oh my God. The homeless thing up there is destroying. They're going to lose. They're going to lose sporting teams. That's how bad it is. I'm not going to be shocked if they lose the 49ers and the Giants. Not at all. All right, let's get rid of the rest. Delete. All of you can do this. This isn't really hard. Get rid of region day ID. That's an internal thing for them. You don't need to know their market size. Keep the San Francisco. Get rid of this. Keep one state. And you can keep the metro if you want. You can make the call here if you want metro or state or whatever. And I think this county is San Francisco as well. So you can overkill it all you want, but just so people know exactly what you're talking about. So they're counting San Francisco, Oakland, and Berkeley. All of them are suffering pretty bad. Format the cells. We're going to turn them into currency. Click OK. That'll expand all the cells for you. And their peak, at their peak, oh, talk about the bloodbath of bloodbaths. All right, let's see. They made it all the way, Fred, before they really started jumping off the bridge. 1.449. No, 1.446. Wow. They made it up to 1.467. And then the slide started long before everybody else. But boy, did they go all the way right until June. So 467 was their peak. Then 459, 1.439. Look at this drop. This is a $30,000 drop. The first one was only like a simple 20. Now it's 30. Now it's getting serious. Now we're averaging in the 30s, another 30, another 10, 20. Not bad. Oh, 20. They don't seem to be slowing down. It slowed down a little here to 289, 279, 278, 274. They've kind of slowed down a little bit, Fred. They're starting to find a little bit of an equilibrium here. And once again, just so you guys can all
Gone
see,
down $193,620
from the
since
peak in 6 months. Yeah, yeah.
from May of, so basically in the
In
last
1 year.
in 1 year, it's gone down 193,000. If we take 193,000 and we divide it by 1,459, 1,000,000, oh shoot, I did it wrong. 1,459,900, which is not the peak. It's basically a 13% drop.
Yeah. And by the way, this isn't the worst market. We can do Austin and Seattle where it looks far worse. San Francisco, oddly, people still have to work up there because most of the tech companies are still up there. But we can do this as well. Highlight both of the cells, head over to insert, click on recommended charts. It'll give me choices too. Look at all these lovely choices. Let's do a different one. Let's do this one. That's kind of fun. Click on that, click OK, and boom. You can always expand it out. There you go. All of you can do this. This is really simple stuff. San Francisco housing prices since 2000. There you go.
You spelled Francisco wrong.
I'm sure I did. Where did I get it wrong? San Fran. Oh, yeah, I did. You're right. Can't say it. It's off. CISCO.
Yeah, it's FRANCIS.
CISCO. Yeah, I always had the. Historically speaking, it's got to come back down. It has mellowed out a little bit. Certainly a plus. Again, you can right click it, save it as a picture. Feel free to use it. There you go. Any of you guys can do this and use it in your own information or data or whatever market you're in. If your market's appreciating, that's a good thing. Okay. Certainly, you know, it would be a good time to, it's a great time to sell no matter what, if you have to sell, right? Prices are coming down historically. If you've got a market where the values are going up, it's a great time to sell. And Zillow has, I'll keep saying it till I'm blue in the face, Zillow has more credibility than real estate agents, which is a sad reality, but I like saying it as often as I can.
So
yeah, go ahead.
I'd just like to say something. For those of you who want this data for yourself, please support Lee and use him to help you with it if you can't figure it out on your own. It's good content. It shows the community and your Facebook friends that you're on top of your data. And when they come or when they know someone that is looking to hire a real estate agent, hey, I know this guy. He really knows his SHIT because he's always posting stuff about what's going on in the local economy. And you know what? That's what people really want. They want someone who knows their stuff, right? That's what they want. So support Lee. If you can't figure this out on your own, he'll do it for you. And you want to become an expert with the data. I think that's very important. You know, there's different types of personalities when you are talking with clients, and Lee comes across as the expert. I like to come across as the expert. But the data and posting the data will help you do that very easily, because people will remember seeing it with your Facebook friends. And then you can post it in the Facebook groups. You can post it in the real estate groups. You can email it out to your database and just say, hey, I can get this type of information for your neighborhood, for your city. I can get this information for you. Let's have a conversation about it. And please support Lee, because he really could use that. And I'm just here to tell you why you would want to do that.